Hi everyone, today we are going to be doing a different video. You will not be seeing me, but we will be baking my favorite granola. So I do have my children home from school sick today, so you might hear them in the background making some noise. I also have my brother-in-law's dog over from surgery, so babysitting him as well. He's kind of whining. And I will be having my oldest assist me behind the camera to hold it every once in a while when I need to use both hands. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will be going through everything in a moment. All right, let's go over our ingredients and our supplies. So we have a preheated 280-degree oven. We have my recipe book and card. We have a pre-parchment lined cookie sheet. It is a 15 by 21. If you are not aware, you can make your parchment paper flat by crumpling it up so it doesn't roll back up the sides of the sheet for you. Then let's go over the ingredients. We have unsweetened coconut flakes, sliced almonds, old-fashioned oats, not the quick oats, liquid coconut oil, ground flaxseed, some honey, salt, ground cinnamon, vanilla, some fine ground pecans, some raisins over here, and some organic eggs from my father-in-law's farm. Then we have our measuring cups, the dry and wet. And we've got a couple of different types of small bowls here. Some are for measured ingredients, some are from the discarded egg and egg yolk. And we've got one here for mixing the egg whites, which I will be doing off camera. We've got our container for our granola when it is completed. We've got a large bowl with a wooden spoon and rubber spatula for mixing all the ingredients. We have our hand mixer. Sometimes I do it with a regular whisk. It does take a little bit longer. And of course a towel for wiping hands on. And I always keep a little tub here of warm water for washing my dishes in when I am completed. All right, so let's get into making our granola. All right, you guys. To begin with, we are going to start putting our dry ingredients into this big metal bowl. What we have here is 4 cups of old-fashioned oats. We've got 1 cup of the coconut flakes. We have 1 cup of the sliced almonds, half of a cup of the raisins. We will have 1 teaspoon of our cinnamon. We'll have a pinch of salt, and then we've got 1/4 cup each of our ground pecans and our ground flaxseed. So let's get pouring everything into the bowl. Then we mix everything with a spoon. I like to use a very large wooden spoon. Once we have this all nicely mixed, as it is, then we take the wet ingredients and combine them. So we have 1/3 cup of the coconut oil here. Then we take our honey and we make it up to another 1/3, so it would be a total of the 2/3. This does take just a little bit. You know what? I'm going to take the entire cover off of the honey and just dump it in. So for my organic honey that I get, it always seems to like crystallize on me. I don't know. It doesn't matter what brand it is. Right here I've got the Great Value. I can use the like Pick and Save, the Roundy's kind. I can use name brand. It does not matter. My honey, sorry about the shaky camera, will always crystallize. And in order to get that to break back down a little bit, you just run it under some warm water for quite a while. It took me like 5 minutes in order to get that back down to liquid state. Then we have our yummy vanilla. I do like to use this pure baking vanilla. I'm not a big fan of the fake vanilla extract. So, calls for 1.5 teaspoons, which if you're not really a baker, that is 1/2 of a tablespoon. There are 3 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon. So usually I eyeball it, but for the sake of the video, I will end up measuring with the spoon. So we add that right into here. Then you want to mix all of this together. My camera lady had to go back into the other room to help with the kids, so I am doing this one-handed. Yay. Alrighty. It is very, very hard to mix honey and oil together. So you just do the best that you can. So because I am doing a clumpy version, I do not like the dry version as much. There are two different versions out of the same exact ingredients. I will list this recipe down below for you guys, both the dry and the wet type. But for the clumpy one is why you have the egg whites. Otherwise you would omit those. So now that this is pretty much mixed together, get as much of the honey off as I can. You pour this right over the top of the granola mixture. All right, so we will take our spatula and we will scrape the rest into the bowl. So I like to eat this as like just a snack. I just pour it into a bowl in the afternoon, and I have like a 1 cup already measuring cup that I keep in the container at all times. Or I will eat it for breakfast with my almond milk. It tastes fantastic. My kids also really, really enjoy this. I think they actually eat more of this than I do by the time I get around to it. Like half my mix is already gone. They'll come home from school and it's a nice snack for them to have. So what we will do is just mix this all together, folding it together. This is not a cooking show, let me tell you what, guys. I am not an expert at filming myself while I cook. I think honestly this is probably only like the first or second time I have done this. So now that we've got that pretty much mixed together, take that part off of the spoon. Okay, so next step, after we have it all mixed, is dumping in the fluffed egg white. Then we have to fold it into the granola. Sorry about the camera. So you want to fold in order to try and keep the egg white as fluffy as possible. It will deflate on you. I mean, it's going to regardless because it's going into another food. But you just want to get it nice and folded. Now, as I stated, if you do have this as the dry granola, you do skip this part completely and you go from the last part where you just had the dry with the coconut oil and the honey and the vanilla. And then you just pour it onto the pan like that. So this is pretty much folded. I am just going to do a quick toss onto my baking sheet and then I will go off camera and finish scraping the bowl out. So you don't grease the sheet at all. You just pour it into a nice pile here. There we go, and I will do the rest off camera quickly. Okay, so now I have the entire bowl onto my large baking sheet here. So what you do, spread it all out with the spoon. Since we are doing a wet, we take the center, clumpy, I should say. It's wet technically because we have wet ingredients, but for the clumpy granola, you take the center out and you try to make it as even as possible around the edges. and you kind of leave it stacked up a little bit because the egg white will burn the granola. So you do want to have a nice pile going so it's not super thin and uneven. Okay. Try and get all these. I know my daughter loves the burnt parts, so she usually takes all of that out of the bowl on me and eats all the crispier parts that come out, because you will get, like, on the thinner edges, more done granola. All right, so this is what it ends up looking like. Let me turn the pan for you. Is like this when you put it into the oven. So I will do that off camera, and what you do is you bake it at the 280 degrees for 45 minutes. You do not open the oven, you do not mix it at all, and then after the 45 minutes, you turn the oven off, you open the oven door, and you let the granola sit in the oven and cool. So see you in a little bit. Excuse my loud dishwasher, but this is what I mean by leaving the door open for the oven. This is what it looks like when it's done and ready to cool. So we will be back when it is cooled and ready to be broken up. All right, everyone, we now have our completely cooled granola, and it comes out looking like this. So as you can see, the edges here are all darker. As I said, that they would get a little bit crispier there, but it doesn't make the flavor any worse or anything. It's very delicious. So what you do then is you just kind of crumble it up like this. When you get like bigger chunks here, you don't want to completely like disintegrate them, but you do want to like break it into chunks about like this size, or you know, even a little bit smaller is fine. That's how we like to eat it, because like I said, we eat it for just like a snack as well, and just out of a bowl. And then I'll eat it as my cereal, because as you can see, there's like smaller granola here that's basically all crumbled, and then there's some chunkier granola. So you get all of this broken apart. It goes really quick because the center of this granola is a little bit soft yet, so it just kind of comes apart. All right, almost done. So it's pretty quick. It's really, really easy to make. All of the ingredients I have on hand at all times. So then what I would normally do is, here's my little granola bucket. I take just the bigger chunks that I can and drop them in and make a mess, because you know, what's baking or cooking without making a mess, right? So I get as much of this off as I can by hand. Takes a little bit, especially when I only have one hand that is available. Okay, so then I just kind of pull it towards the middle like so. And then I pick up the ends, pinch them together, and then pick it up and dump it into the bowl. Then if you just got a couple little leftover crumbs, just grab them and pop them in with it. So yeah, Then I usually have this little 1 cup measuring cup in here. When I eat my cereal, I just fill this, and that's all I have in my bowl, because normal serving cereal sizes are like 3/4 of a cup to a cup. Put the cover on, and then this is good for like 7 to 10 days in the cupboard, sealed. It's a nice strong seal here. You can also substitute your fruit if you would prefer. As I said, I tried to do it with cranberries. I didn't feel it tasted as good as with the actual raisins. You can substitute your spice. I just happen to like it be a cinnamon and an almond and raisin. You can also substitute your nuts. You can substitute your sweetener. Instead of using like a honey, you could use a maple syrup. It is a very versatile recipe. So I just kind of made it my own. I switched a couple things out, added some stuff. I changed the amount of egg white because I felt like it still wasn't like lumpy enough with only 2. So yeah, I will put the recipe down below for you, and I will also put the little asterisks next to it to let you know which ingredients are interchangeable. Make it your own, you know? It doesn't have to be exactly what I do, but this is just something I like to eat. It's healthy. I started eating this when I was pregnant because a lot of the cereals weren't low in carb enough for me. So I just made my own, and I found it on a paleo site. And like I said, I changed out a couple of things, added some stuff to it, and this is what I came up with, and it's just really delicious. So I will leave a couple of videos up in the corners for you guys to check out. Also my giveaway video, because I do have that going on right now. And yeah, I hope you guys have a really great day. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys know when I am uploading my videos, and you'll be able to watch them right away. So have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.